Hey everyone, we're here at SHOT Show 2024 and I'm with Chris of HRT Tactical, finally in person as opposed to trying to do a little video conference thing here. But we're checking out a lot of the new products that they have here. Now, if you guys have been following the channel, you know that I've been testing a lot of their stuff with plate carriers and especially more recently their arc belt. Really impressive belt that gives you a lot of durability, rigidity, and lightweight. So like durable and lightweight are usually the two things that don't go together.
Most of the time.
They figured it out with this. But you guys have some new accessories that you can now incorporate into that belt, correct?
That is correct. So this was our first phase with the arc belt, which was simply the core, the sleeves, the magazine pouches, and we decided that we needed to come up with something for a more complete system.
Okay.
So as of 2023, we had a lot of designs. We wanted to create something that was going to be durable, that wasn't just going to fall out of the taco shell, but that was going to be able to be organized. So we came up with this design here. So the idea is multiple hard points on these straps here. That way you have something just in case your hands are slick.
Sure.
And then when you're on the belt, it will come out. And then you can open it up and it will have 4 flaps. And it has multiple organizing options. So,
yeah. Hold it right there. Yeah. So you've got the different storage options here. Obviously, you've got the kind of Velcro bands, but in theory, you can also run bungee, or you can run whatever you want within that as well. You've got plenty of space for gauze. You've got plenty of space for like NPAs. You've got a little survival blanket pocket here. You could throw your Sharpies and whatever else you want. Now you could throw a tourniquet in there. But you also have another attachment for including a tourniquet, correct?
That is correct, Ryan. So we wanted to make sure that the tourniquet is probably one of the most important components to the system. So we decided to build it so that on the external taco shell, it would attach to either the bottom or the top. And that way it's going to molly directly in and it's going to stay secure. And then that way, if you need it, it's easily accessible.
Yeah, and so some of the other options out there on the market, you're either stuck with it on the top, you're stuck with it on the bottom, you're stuck with it inside. This lets you customize it to your particular preference.
Well, modernization and mobility and doing something that just tries to help out to make it easier for the individuals. So,
right.
And following on with other options with the belt, one of the things that if you have a belt system, well, it's not a complete belt system without a dump pouch, correct? So we wanted something that was going to be very compact when it's on the belt, when not in use, if it needs to be stowed away. So we wanted to come with something with a downward pull. So a downward pull is a lot easier for most people for engagement.
Sure.
And what that's going to do is it just makes it easier to drop and it lets it get out of the way. But it's made out of 500D Cordura. It is a deep pocket, so if you're running something like a water bottle or something like that, you don't have to worry about it falling out. The other thing that's nice about it, the shock cord on the top, so you can control the opening. And when it folds back up, it's a very simple design. It's just either a tri-fold on long ways, or you can do it the way that you did it before.
Right.
You can roll it up and then basically store it away. So.
Yeah, and so it's not one of those things where once you get it open, it's going to be like pulling teeth trying to get it closed. I was able to figure it out pretty quick, and if I can figure it out, anyone can figure it out. And again, that's going to be more of a universal interface, so MOLLE, it'll incorporate into the arc belts. So you don't have to just use it on the arc belts. Something like this you can incorporate into other items as well. Now, obviously, we've got multicam on the med pouch and on this dump pouch, but presumably these are going to be available in other colors as well.
And we're going to do it in any colors that we had available. At least at this point, the plan is to go any colors that were available in the arc belt.
Sure.
They will be available in those accessory pouches.
Okay, excellent. Now, speaking of accessory pouches, one of the things that I tried out with the arc belt with the mag pouches was my SIG P320 magazines, and it works well for that. But in that vein, you actually have something new for the P320, correct?
So we wanted to do something that was going to be more in tune with the firearms industry. So we've been working with Harrington Arms to basically create a P320 option. So it has some really nice cuts, especially where the compensator goes into the slide. We've got plenty of grip on the rear, We also have a significant amount of grip on the front because a lot of people will grab there. So the system for the upper slide, it is going to come with the compensator, the barrel, it's going to come with the slide, and it's going to come with suppressor height sights and an RMR cut. So the question is whether or not we are going to offer the Icarus lower. That's still in debate. If we do, we would be going with something similar to this. We do like this design. It is a very, very textured grip. It also has a very nice beaver tail. And we're definitely looking at getting it out on the range to run it through its T&E process.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't felt the Icarus frames out there, they are very, very nice. But with this slide, again, just from handling it in here, very, very positive traction on those slide, whether you're wearing gloves, whether your hands are slick, you're gonna have very positive control over that. And then having the RMR pattern just makes it,
it's pretty much the standard.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, again, there's a lot of stuff you can work with the SIG slides, almost nothing though that I run. Most of the stuff that I run is all RMR pattern at least, but having all of that included is a pretty nice package, and it's something that you can just drop onto any 320 frame that you want to effectively.
Well, what we love more so than anything is I think Harrington Arms probably makes one of the best SIG compensators.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we wanted to go with Harrington, and they have really good craftsmanship. So we're really looking forward to trying to get that one out into the market.
Awesome.
So,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and you can't have a good pistol without some type of illumination.
Absolutely. Yep.
So we
Perfect
are
segue.
coming into the handheld. We've had a lot of requests for these. The AWLS has done really well for us. We wanted to do something that was going to be able to take the Mark III or the Mark VI head and basically be able to put that into your hand for everyday carry. So for those who aren't aware, the Mark VI is a 90,000 candela, 1,700 lumens, and the Mark III, that is a 5,500 roughly candela, 1,500 lumens, and that's going to be something that's going to be a little bit more affordable if you don't want to go for a much more intense throw, but they're both great options. So with the system that you see here, this is going to be coming as a long body 18650 or two CR123s. It is also going to have the Ethereum switchback, and it's going to be able to be carried whether it's EDC, in a bag, in your pocket. But if you're looking for something smaller, we do have the 18350 option. The only downside with this one, you can only run an 18350 or else it's not going to power the head. But the heads are interchangeable, Mark III, Mark VI, doesn't really matter. And the other thing will be the clip on the end. It's just going to be a different version of the Theorem clips.
And I mean, he kind of ran over the specs there for the lights pretty quick, but I want to re-emphasize that. Like, normally you would get either high candela or high lumen. Those are pretty high numbers for both of those, so you get good throw and good light output.
And I think that's always an issue anytime you're dealing with electronics. This was a heavy R&D for us, but it was a really interesting learning curve. So going from nylon and other products that really don't belong in the electronic world, luckily we had some good advisors, so we're happy with the product and we're looking forward to bringing this one out. I don't know the exact release date on these. We're really pushing for a late spring, early summer time frame for those.
Yeah, and again, the rifle lights have been out for quite a while. They've been doing very, very well. So now having that handheld option is also really nice. More and more people are switching to the really high output pocket lights for their pocket for a lot of reasons. This is just another really good option for that.
All right, so for 2024, these are already on our website. These are a great option. It is a Windbreaker if you're looking for something for EDC, for everyday carry, just to throw in the backpack, put in the vehicle. It is a hoodie style system with a quarter zip. It is some limited water resistance, but it's mostly just a windbreaker. We're going to be coming it out with a price of $35. It does break back down and fit into a very small bag.
Yeah.
I've done it multiple times today, so I know it works. But we wanted to make something economical, something that's going to be, hey, you can pick up multiple if you needed to. We're going to have it in 3 sizes right now, 1 in a medium, 1 large, 1 XL, but we're going to be doing 4 primary colors. And considering the company, the colors we're going to be going with are multicam, black, coyote brown, as well as ranger green.
Right.
So some of the features on this system is going to be chest pockets. And a lot of people asked why a chest pocket. It's because if you are wearing a plate carrier, sometimes pockets down here, they may not be the most accessible.
Right.
So the chest pockets were kind of an interesting idea that we thought would be a really beneficial option. As well, on the inside, there are some hidden pockets if you want to store extra magazines, flashlights, things like that, even a cell phone.
Yep. Or if you're an Air Force guy like me, hand hotties to keep myself warm in those, whatever I have to go outside.
It could, in theory, be done for them.
Yeah.
In the armpit area, it is ventilated, so that's going to make something that's going to be, if it does get a little bit hotter, but there's still some wind,
Yeah.
you can have a little bit of ventilation for that.
Yeah, and again, at $35, that's easily in a price range where you can justify having 1 in each vehicle, 1 in each bag, that kind of thing where, you know, if I'm dressed to go to work and I need to, for whatever reason, put on something a little bit more camouflaged, I can have that in a bag very, very easily and be able to change my outward appearance very, very rapidly.
Exactly. So the last thing as far as the kit that we are producing for 2024 is a strobe. So the strobe idea came from us working with other people in the industry that were doing night vision, and we wanted to come up with something for the market that was going to be more affordable maybe than what is currently on the market. We also wanted something that was programmable. So this can be programmed. The other thing that's really nice about this is it vibrates when you change your modes. So when you press the first press, it will basically go into low mode and you'll feel a vibration. You press the second one, it'll have 2 vibrations, and that'll let you know you're in high mode. Then you have a third press, and then that's supposed to go into strobe, but again, this is a prototype.
Yeah, and the cool thing with that strobe too is it does kind of a strobe vibration for 3 cycles. There we go. That way, it lets you know that it's in strobe, but it's not going to continue vibrating and driving you crazy. But when it's on top of your head, I hate having to like pull my little light off or pull my helmet off. Okay, is it doing what I want it to do? This, you get that immediate feedback of, hey, it's on, or hey, it's off with that long vibrate when you turn it off.
And exactly, with that last push, you're going to have that long vibration. We're looking at different color options. Right now, since this is a prototype design, we could have green, we could have tan, we could have black. We've got them in different colors now just to see, to kind of test an evaluation.
Yeah.
Once it moves into the feedback stage, then we're going to have those sent out and get some feedback. So we're still hoping for a summer release for this. If we get lucky and the company that does the electronics for us, as long as they can keep up with what our requests are,
Right.
we're open to have these out. But we're looking at about a $50 price range for these.
Yeah, and that's not bad, again, especially being rechargeable, because there's some of the more affordable, quote unquote, beacons out there too, that once it's done, and you got to buy another one. And as someone who doesn't have government funding, I like having something I can recharge and continue to use. Now, this is all great. We got a lot of EDC style stuff here, but for some people, EDC can still be too big. So you've got some miniaturized EDC options now too, right?
So this is actually a really interesting story. We were asked to do a collaboration with Black Ops Toys. They were really interested in our kit, so they asked if we could do a setup for them as far as the kit. So they did this incredible craftsmanship on this 1/6 scale. This one it's currently wearing an L back. It's in Coyote. They've even detailed the AWLS system on this. If you go to Black Ops Toys, they are doing pre-sales on this. I think the price range that we're looking at was about $180 for this, and if you're into 1/6 scale, they can get kind of expensive, but we looked at other prices,
Right.
and it's actually a really good price. But the pre-sales are currently going on.
Yeah.
So.
And that, like I was telling him before we started rolling, that's the G.I. Joe I wish I had when I was a kid. Like, they weren't that cool, but having everything that's like hyper realistic with the way he's got his dual tubes on there, the way he's got his IR laser and everything set up, the way he's got his helmet set up, that's a pretty slick little setup. And like, you can even pull the 320 out, you can pull the magazines out, you can cycle the slide on it.
Well, you can also change the uniforms,
Sure.
you can change your helmets, and you can also buy other stuff from the company as well when they have those available. So if you're looking at this as kind of your long-term sand table holder, then yeah, you can do a lot of different stuff with it. But in all honesty, just beautiful craftsmanship.
Yeah.
When they dropped it off to us on Monday, it was an absolute just eye-opening experience to see something come to life the way
Yeah.
that did.
It's a lot of attention to detail. I mean, it's hard enough to do full scale size stuff. Having to do 1/6 size is pretty impressive. Now, again, we've talked about stuff that's already out, stuff that's coming out. If people want to stay on top of product releases, where's the best place for them to do that?
All right, so that's an excellent question. So you can go to our Instagram account, HRT Tactical Gear, Facebook. We even have an X account. Let's be honest, it's Twitter. Same thing, HRT Tactical Gear. We also have videos that we post as regularly as we can to YouTube. Same thing, HRT Tactical Gear across the board.
Yeah. So I'll have links to at least the social media stuff, if not the website itself, depending on what YouTube wants to do. But if you just search HRT Tactical, you'll find it. Really, really good stuff. Like, across the board, everything I've used from them has been really well thought out. You can tell that the guys who are designing these have actually used this stuff and are using this stuff, because the designs speak for themselves, and they just work, I guess. That's kind of the ideal thing. This is going to sound stupid, but whenever you're running kit, whether it be a plate carrier or a belt, the less you notice the belt, the better it is.
I agree.
Because then if you're noticing it, that usually means something's not working properly. With this, it's just there, it works. There's not much else to say other than that. But again, I do have videos out there. We'll definitely be doing more testing with HRT stuff in the future, so stay tuned for that. Again, check out the links below. Chris, thank you very much for your time out here
Ryan,
today.
thank you, sir.
And we're going to be doing a lot more coverage here from SHOT Show 2024, so stay tuned for that. But as always, I hope you got something out of this video, and I really appreciate you watching.